You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. Welcome to Around the United Nations League Trash Talk Edition. With me in studios, as always, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner, welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Happy to be here. Got a lot to talk about.
You know what? This place is, we were kind of, mentioning certain stuff during the Commissioner report and,
teasing.
Yeah. And there's just so much crammed into one league, and, summer's just beating down on us right now, and it's just, everyone is, we're getting ready for this global's greatest, and everyone, I don't want to say wound up really tight, but it almost feels like this place is ready to erupt, man.
Like a powder peg. Yeah. Like a, how do you, a powder keg? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Okay. Yeah. Just ready to tap it and bro.
Yeah.
Tap
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Oh, man. Now, trash talk. I mean, they're, in this game we play, just in case people listening, wondering what the hell's going on here. This is the United Nations League, a bronze league in the IWA, the Imaginary Wrestling Association, and tons of leagues, out there. You can check the webpage, playiwa.com. You're going to see 80, 100 so leagues out there. None structured this way, and that's the beauty of the UNL. When you come to the bronze, when you come to the UNL, the structure that's behind the league, the sincerity behind it, everything is in plain sight. So if you're going for a title, it's in the bulletin, for you to see. You can easily look over your bulletin, read the information, see how it's contested for. That structure that we, present during the Commissioner report is just personified by the trash talk now, because it just comes to life. Now you got trash talk, and you got these angles that build around the titles that we, provide, because they're honest titles, Commissioner. That's what I was getting to, is that these titles have, they have all this structure behind it. So it's like, if I really want to go for that title, I'm going to have to be, active. I'm going to have to trash talk. I'm going to have to, work my way up to it. And it just makes it that much more interesting chasing that title, shout out to all the, people in the league. Like we mentioned, we don't discriminate against anyone there. If you want to come, if you just want to send in matches and play and, make the league that much more competitive, awesome.
Yeah.
But the pay-per-views and the Commissioner titles, they, exclusive for the trash talkers here. And, when a pay-per-view is getting near, the trash talk just escalates. And right now we got that, a couple feuds that we had mentioned about, we'll get a little more into, but, you got someone like, our United Nations champ, Valen, who himself is going up against, one of the best here, Alaska McFleece, and, Valen is, like he said before, he's not shying away from any of the competition they throw at him, and I think with a series that's tied up, you were mentioning about it's 1-1.
It is 1-1. Yeah.
Nice. Series like this, Commissioner, just with everything that I had mentioned earlier, become that much more fun to follow, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
And someone with the history that McFleece has, and to see these two going at it for this belt is fun. But McFleece has a just for him to get one win in the series was awesome, with everything that's going on in the locker rooms and around his character right now.
Right. He has had quite, even if you want to go all the way back to last year, quite the arc to get to this point. So we'll see how the series plays out. Obviously, I know later we'll talk about his feud that is ongoing with Rick Rancher. A lot going on with McLeese. So, but he's hitting on all cylinders right now. He was successful against Rancher at the Rumble. And so we'll see, now he's challenging for the United Nations title. We'll see how that shakes out.
But you see, you mentioned something that's very key right there. He's been on an up and down cycle, up and down cycle, up and down cycle. He hasn't been as consistent as Mr. 24/7, who never takes a break. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see how that, because maybe he's gonna get to that pinnacle. Arya is eventually gonna hit that pinnacle, and it's gonna be an implosion or something bad. And he's inching up. At some moment or another, he's gonna go over that edge, and that's when I begin to worry. Because he's almost, I don't know if he's at that plateau up there, because look at the words he has to poor Archie Jones. I see you, I see through you, and I will beat you. Just like no respect,
not a lot of respect for a very talented new addition.
Yeah.
So I think the danger that a character or a person like Valen runs into is he's striving. I have something to prove, but then he does, and like you mentioned, you use that word plateau. Is he kind of losing focus now that he has achieved that goal? Because this cycle and the cycle before, it seemed like his message has gone from, I have to prove that I'm the best to I am the best. And there's maybe, a pride comes before the fall moment there. So we'll see.
Yeah, maybe looking towards the collaboration with Quick Kill, maybe uniting and building something around that will help him reach new heights. Who knows?
Could be.
We could even be overlooking the fact that some people reach a plateau and fall off the cliff, and some people reach the plateau and ascend to a new level. Maybe the ascension of Valen Arya is coming. Who knows? See where he goes next.
Yes, I think this next cycle will be very telling.
Yeah, I like it. Now, the native warrior. Now, these are tough, because he's given the attention to the Crippler, and the Crippler is
hasn't had much to say lately.
Well, shout out to and I'll break fourth wall or whatever but we all love this game, and time does become a factor for some managers. Some managers, for whatever reason, like I said, there's a lot of leagues, we know a lot of managers are spread throughout the game, different behind the scenes stuff in other areas might take their attention from certain places, but the show goes on, and now we'll just hey, he respects them, and so, but he moves on, and in a nice fashion, and he
well, he mentions the series with CC DeVille for the Canium title.
Right, that's what I was about to tell you. It is, and that one's 1-1.
Well, I don't want to say.
Enough said without saying, but I won't say. We won't say that CC DeVille is still the champion. What did I say? Oh, dang it, CC DeVille. Dang it. I won't say it, but I have my choice. I think CC. I'm a big CC DeVille fan these days.
What changed you?
What? Hey. Change of heart, or fear of getting my heart ripped out. One or the other.
Perhaps. Hey, that sounds like an L&L.
Right. Yeah. It's not. No, we're in this. Yeah.
But
maybe just my tooth knocked out.
there we go. There we go. That's yeah.
Now, speaking of managers, kind of, like I said, not having the time, and now bringing it back, and I wanted to say it like that because shout out to the manager from the Joneses for just giving us a little,
sure.
giving us a little taste as to where they've been. I feel bad for poor Archie's phones because
yeah, Brody is not enjoying this like return to nature kind of
Is it Brody
to reconnect?
Is Brody's the younger one? I'm assuming the one that's connected.
Well, Brody is the American, and Archie is very attuned and has a level head on his shoulders, whereas Brody is kind of
Archie is Australian, if I remember.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. So he wanted Brody to kind of get in tune with nature and.
Well, yeah, he's kind of disconnected from the constant social media, internet, screen time. Like get out of that and kind of see what's around you.
Now, in disconnecting and being able to focus, it kind of, without them saying anything, it looks like they're looking towards some of the new arrivals. Looks like he mentions a certain certain tree. tree.
Yeah. So Archie, to back up just a little, he talks about how he needs to make sure that he and Brody are united, that Brody is with him. And then he mentions that there's a massive redwood tree. So I don't know if that's the redwood is calling him.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, a lot of the stuff here in the UNL, you have to have someone from the same nation to compete for. So maybe a unity with the redwood, maybe a feud with the redwood. So like I said, is it even that redwood that they're talking about?
I don't know, but I am invested.
Yeah. That's the beauty of the game. Yeah, yeah. One word, snowflake. It's all it takes. But hey, we're jumping ahead. We're jumping.
Snowflake later.
Hey, we're jumping ahead.
Might have, yeah, but no. I love the idea, and I've talked about it before, but I like the idea of something that builds slowly, that you get a little bit of, and maybe we'll find out that he is not related, but right now we're intrigued and we're curious, so that's a good thing. That's what you want people to want to read your trash talk next cycle, and that's what the Joneses do. That's what the Joneses do every time. They're very, very good.
Oh yeah, I mean, shout out! I'll throw a shout out to their to our stablemates. It's stablemates, right? Because Goodie Bag and Elizabeth are also from Edge.
I believe so. We have quite an influence. The UNL doesn't really focus in league on stables. I mean, the Quick Kill I wouldn't really consider a stable. They're a group, but we have an influx of Edge managers.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Shout out to Goodie Bag and Elizabeth, because they said we'd love hearing from you. I said we haven't heard from you in a bit, so hopefully we can. You know what? I know they were.
Timbatsu was calling them out, so hopefully we hear from Goodie Bag.
Yeah, I mean, I know the commissioner was pretty hard because Elizabeth and him wanted to be eligible for certain titles without, any other, restrictions. But hey, come on, you can find a partner, somebody somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure somebody would want to team up with Elizabeth.
Yeah, if not, you can always hire the associates. That's the way it works.
106, 107.
Come get some. So, we provide many of people gold nowadays. Oh man! Now speaking of Ezekiel Crane and company,
yes, sir.
Greatco seems that like I said, he has no. We've known this from the beginning. Has no respect for Joe Kona. None. He doesn't care. Doesn't care if he was elite champion. Doesn't care if he has,
The credentials.
doesn't care.
He's coming for him.
And now he's even, looks like stalking the poor guy at matches.
He interferes in his match with Goody Bag Griff. Gets them both counted out.
I mean, even Goody Bag might have something to say about that too, if he's getting himself,
right,
innocent bystander. Yeah. So, but Jean Greco, like I said, he looks like he means business, and who knows? Joe Kona might not even make it to that match from the way this thing's going.
I mean, it sounds like he hit him pretty hard with this chair, so we'll have to see. I mean, Grey Crow's up right now, so
now
how it plays
out. We were without knowing, we were kind of given the treat, and it looked like it was developing. I know we've had like a little bit of an off cycle. Well, at least from one, looks like the dragon went into hiatus. Did the snake, intimidate him that much? I'm not sure. Like I said, but like I said, I know the guy behind the fighters, and I know when he is on, he is on. Like I said, so I hope that the snake didn't, scare him away, because I know the snake could be very intimidating. But
yeah. I would be afraid of both the snake and the dragon. So hopefully we haven't seen the last of the dragon, because you're right. When he's active, he is as good as they come. So hopefully we see him back soon.
Yeah. Now, to speak a little on this in terms of, we mentioned, a lot of managers, how to earn respect within the IWA, and I think one of the better ways is a series. I mean, the series is, revolves around endurance. It revolves around consistency, especially in a league like this, where an angle can escalate into a pay-per-view, and just the fun behind taking an angle to a pay-per-view, and just and through it, and when and if you do get into a series, just that endurance factor. I mean, right now Jake, in my opinion, has is on top of the series, because the feud, he's pretty much carrying the feud, and what we were hoping for a series, and I don't think, like I said, I'm still crossing my fingers.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, if it's not a series, I would love to have a snake versus dragon match at the pay-per-view. I mean, I'd buy a ticket to see that.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping we could get that to escalate to that pay-per-view. Dragon, if you're out there, like I said, we definitely want to hear from the Dragon again. Like I said, definitely one of the top competitors, when he's on. And I said, like I said, I think that's where that respect factor for someone like the Hitman comes in, because he's been doing it, day in, day out for an extended period of time. Someone like CC DeVille, who, as I was about to say something I shouldn't. I love your face, CC DeVille. I love your face. That haircut is amazing.
Great.
I'm gonna get socked, man. Jeez. But yeah, just that, that consistency, that, to be able to come in and put on a show day in, day out, and yeah, I mean, that speaks numbers, especially in a league like the UNL.
Right. Well, I guess the only thing I would add to that is when you're in a feud, when you're in an angle, you need everybody to be as involved as possible, and it's really difficult to run an angle if it's one-sided.
Yeah, and I think that's what the UNL provides, a great pretty much a great place to display an angle. I mean, because of everything else that goes around, it's carried from different someone like the McFleece angle, like the Rancher angle, like Valen's story arc. It's well developed here. The characters are you can pretty much speak to each character, and
right.
It just life sometimes gets in the way, and I think the only thing I would add, to kind of, move away from that would be just, you know, if you're going to move away from an angle, at least reach out to the manager or try and reach out to the commissioner. Say, hey, XYZ, I'll be back soon or something. Just give us a heads up. That's I think the beauty about the UNL community.
Yeah, we do have a great group Facebook page. If you're not on the Facebook group, you're welcome to join. Just make sure you answer the questions. I had somebody request to join, not answer the questions, so rejected.
Sorry, answer the questions.
Answer the questions. It's not hard.
Oh man! Now we got the answer to this question during the commissioner show. Whether or not Solomon and Grey Curl were gonna be able to retain, and unfortunately they did not.
They did not, but they had 6 challengers, and for any team, that's a lot. That's a lot to handle in one cycle. They were very respectable champions.
We said we were never going to say it, but the damn tag shuffle just caused them to, they
stupid tag shuffle.
That tag shuffle, man. All these competitors just thrown at them, exhausted. Jeez, man. Talk about Ezekiel Crane just, here you go, Ezekiel. You want to come in and ruin our show? Here you go, ruin your show. Yeah. Now, speaking of Mr. Crane, we hadn't heard from him in a while, and then, we get a brave reporter that goes visits him.
Yeah.
And not the person, or not the direction I thought Mr. Crane was going to go after this.
No, and let's just say first that he is not a bowl of sunshine here.
Yeah, I would say
he calls the fans feces.
Yep, that's what happens when you laugh at and forgive me for even chuckling to begin this segment, but I mean, when I read it, I was like, wow. We're entering a whole new part of this story arc, and
I couldn't agree more.
I don't know. Is it warranted? I mean, we had
he thinks it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have a bunch of fans laughing, at a war veteran getting beat up. No one. You would expect someone to rush and just stand up for him, because he can't stand, and no one came to his defense. No one.
Well, I guess the flip side of that, to play devil's advocate, is that perhaps in his time in the UNL, people are starting to see through his message, and perhaps they know that there is more than meets the eye here with Ezekiel Crane. I mean, maybe they feel like he earned it.
Yeah, I mean, there he had his a brief moment here and there that maybe crossed the line, but still a war veteran. I mean, still in a wheelchair. I mean,
still in a wheelchair, superplexed off the top rope onto the steel steps. Man, that's vicious.
Now, I don't know if getting a suplex must have jarred a couple of screws loose, but the laugh at the end just has me thinking not everything came back. Not everything came back.
He may be a changed man, for sure. And this is as good a time as any. And then I imagine we'll probably talk about the Masked Man. But we saw the last cycle. We saw the papers from the lawyer offices, from the law offices of both sides, of both the Masked Wrestler and Ezekiel Crane, with the UNL office caught in the middle. UNL office, we do our best to come to a reasonable resolution. And although I will tease it now, and you can read it in the bulletin, I can say that the UNL has come to an agreeable resolution from both parties.
What? What? I mean, you're actually going to grant this SOB the extra 8 seconds he's asking for?
I didn't say that.
Oh man, you know what? 4 seconds.
I didn't. I did. I neither confirmed nor
Oh
denied.
man, this is
But
Commissioner. How?
Ezekiel Crane had some demands. The masked wrestler had some demands. The UNL office does our best to mediate, and you will have an announcement as to a resolution to those potential lawsuits.
Oh man, I mean, just the way he says his name. I mean, just the disrespect. I mean, the man's name is Ezekiel, not Zeke, not anything else. It's if I just to add his full title, it's I believe it was General Ezekiel Crane. So best watch where you're going there, Mass Man. You're gonna.
Yeah. Well, and he's at the psychologist's office, right? But he's only there because he has to be there. The masked man, this is.
Ah.
And he feels no remorse over his attack. And we were talking off air. He says that it not only was he not 8 seconds over, but that he was 8 seconds short. He thinks that Ezekiel Crane still owes him 8 more seconds.
What? Because I mean, he just. Oh man, this is getting.
He
ugly.
timed it at 4 minutes and 52 seconds.
Man. Now,
and then I feel like we got maybe our first clue here as to who the masked wrestler might be. Correct me if you think I'm wrong, because it's possible. But we have a sentence here at the end that's in Russian.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean?
I mean,
is the masked wrestler Russian? Does he just speak Russian?
I mean, since you're bringing up Russian, we might as well talk about the Russian. I mean, he's. I mean, is plastered a word that I could use right now to mention the Russian?
I think that's the impression I have here. Also, is that Mr. Vladimir was out to lunch and maybe had a few too many mimosas.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, if it is the Russian behind that mask, son of a gun, I would have. That's like from left field, but
yeah. Well, I mean, he's Russian. We have the Russian Reaper.
It makes sense because he's gone through such a rough time, and if he's been pulling double duty, it all makes sense.
That would make sense. He is a prime suspect.
Now, shout out to UNL staff members, Matt Peters for managing
stepping up here.
Yeah, managing to get an interview with Vlexing, or now all-American attire, just rocking the red, white, and blue, huh?
He's rocking the red, white, and blue. So gotten his clothes from Old Navy.
You know what? He must have gotten it on sale after like a 4th of July sale or something.
I mean, we did just pass 4th of July, right? That makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense. Maybe he went out to lunch and then went out to Old Navy.
Well, and he looks like he's enjoying himself for everything that's gone on. It was nice to see him with a smile.
Right. I know, because he was partnered up with Rancher for a quick minute there, and then Rancher punched him out and left him behind, and
maybe knocked some sense into the
maybe he did.
Now Tim Batsu.
Yes.
And shout out to Tim Batu's manager, because we talked a bit ago about bringing characters and just being able to understand where a character is coming from, just based on a few lines and a few sentences. And Tim Batu is that kind of character. I mean, shout out to his manager for every time I read it, I'm just like, what the is he saying? Oh, God
Yeah.
bless Timbatsu. But it comes, yeah, loud and clear. Heard you loud and clear, brother.
Yeah,
You know,
he doesn't have to say a lot to say a lot.
no, and
And
basically Solomon Dang, you're just a coward. You're just a
he calls him a
coward.
coward. Yeah.
You're just
You
a
know,
coward.
he mentions Sugar High that he thinks he could beat in the middle of the ring, but he also talks about how Solomon, you got me good, but you attacked me from behind.
Yeah.
So
How dare you? How dare you call me a not warrior? A not
yeah,
warrior.
yeah.
Well,
Well, and the other thing he talks about here is, last time I beat you and I wasn't mad. Now I'm
oh,
mad.
like
It's like,
now,
oh boy.
now you're getting an extra whooping. Now you're
Yeah,
getting
like oh, I would not want to be on Tenbatsu's bad side.
now. Now Solomon, on the other hand, doesn't really mention Timbatu this cycle, does he?
Well, he there's one line where he calls him a fat man. Yeah. Because
Timbatu, a fat man?
yeah. I mean I think Timbatsu is perhaps barrel chested. I wouldn't necessarily say he's fat. Um but Solomon Ying or Solomon Solomon is built like a brick house.
Yeah,
And,
but I mean, and with everything that went on with Solomon this cycle and him, defending those tag titles, I don't know. Are they in the series? They're. Are we looking to get them involved? They look like they're going back and forth.
who's that?
Solomon and Jean, they're in the series best of five or no?
Well, Jean Grey Crow and Joe Kona are in a
Oh, that's
series.
right.
But
Solomon's been.
but we may not have seen the last of Solomon against Tenbatsu.
Huh? Yeah. That. I mean, I think we've been tied. I mean, for whatever reason, it seems like they've been also kind of inching into a series themselves.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to see.
See how that one goes. We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I don't think those two managers have ever really gone at one another either. I mean,
No, I don't think so.
huh? Interesting. Now,
Indeed.
now, big surprise. Big surprise. Big. I mean, I don't know if somebody gifted him a microphone or finally showed him where the stage was at, but it was awesome to hear from Jack Edison and Anthony Izzo, man.
Yeah,
They
it's been a
found their
hot
way
minute.
they found themselves to the podium and they told you how it is, Commissioner. If you want to
They
hear
are.
from us, you're gonna hear from us.
Yes, and
Ah.
they're going to go after the titles. They're going to be as nasty as they want to be, and they're going to get more involved. So
Now, what I liked is they said they don't care if you give them the shot. They're just here to beat up the champion. So to fight the champion, even if they don't win the belt, they're gonna go after the champion and beat his ass. So I was like,
there
okay,
you go.
cool, go challenge him.
Like, I mean, that's one way to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, but and shout out to the man behind because he's been hitting.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
all year.
yep. So shout out, man. Welcome to the competition. Because I honestly think if you don't trash talk, you're really not in the mix here. So
Not in the UNL.
it's
Sorry to
just
say.
yeah. Now, uh, man,
Are we
I
going
wish
to talk about Quick Kill and the Dead Rabbits?
I was about to say I kind of wanted. You know what? Eventually, we're gonna have to have like little theme music, and I almost want to have like a little bell for tea time every time we mention Sir Robert Hughesworth. It's tea time. Like,
Uh, yeah.
chaps. Hello, chaps. Yeah, but no respect, huh? No respect.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
they said you got the first one and you're not taking any more, and now they're here they were up 2-1, now they're up 3-1,
Ooh.
and cutting. He minces no words. He's like, you're making excuses. You celebrated too much. What's going to be your excuse this time? And he laying it on. You know,
Mhm.
I love it.
Even mentions the big R word. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
probably gonna mention your retirement, and then, I mean, you talk about two managers that are hitting on all cylinders right now, and
yeah,
nothing against anything else going on in the league, but you got a best of 7 series. The
yeah.
endurance just behind the thought of that
Right,
alone is just
right.
amazing.
Yeah.
Just to know
Well,
that, hey, you know what? I got to be on for 7 freaking cycles.
7 cycles. Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Um, well, and something else that I think is cool is how uh, what's the word I'm looking for? How connected these two trash talks are. When, to the best of my knowledge, these two managers don't talk outside of the bulletin.
yeah, and they've been on ever
So
since.
yeah,
Ever
so
since
you
the
know
start. Yeah,
they're
it's
old schooling.
amazing.
You know, there's not collaboration going on. They are going old school, which is fun to do.
Yeah.
You know, at least some of the time.
Yeah, and then
And
and just like you said, just how interconnected they are,
yeah,
because on the quick hill side, the awareness and just the experience behind their like, we've seen this already. We know you're just going to come out and thump your
yeah,
chest.
yeah.
You know you must not be from Boston. Hey, you know what? If you're down 3-1, what do? Just lace up your boots and
Lace up your
get
boots,
out
get back to
there
work. Yeah,
and do it again. Like,
yeah,
let's go. So
yeah.
man, it's just
I think backs against the wall. I gotta say, I mean, winning 3 against the Dead Rabbits, that's a tall order. I I'm gonna go ahead and predict. I think Quick Kill Inc. will win match 5. I don't think they'll go out. I don't think they'll go out this cycle. I think they win match 5. Their backs are against the wall. They know this is, it's do or die, winner done. I think Quick Kill Inc.'s gonna come out hot. That's
yeah.
my prediction.
Yeah, I mean, just I mean, we mentioned it and we keep mentioning it. Every trash talk show that we have, just bringing it all together with the series. You know, you got a manager that's a legacy here. In the UNL, has been here from the start in Quick Hill Inc. And then you got someone that came on late but was an instant impact. I mean, Bill Cutting and
Oh yeah.
Walter Monk were just on fire from the get. And then when they announced that they were going to be chasing the tag, and obviously Quick Hill had mentioned the fact that the tag competition was a little bit weak, and that just, ever since that, I remember that one bulletin when he mentioned that about the tag. After that, you know shout out to all the managers for coming, and bringing it, because even to the point that we've attracted something as prestigious as Black Mass in Buford and Humongous,
Yeah.
who themselves are coming for the competition. We mentioned them the last time, how they're chasing competition and tag in 3 of the most exclusive leagues in the IWA. And it's awesome to see angles that come into our our perspective. And when you got tag competition at this level now, it's just whew, it's fun,
You know
brother.
what? Now that you mention that, I would love to throw this out there into the universe, you know, but perhaps the winner of the Dead Rabbits and Quick Kill Inc.
Ooh,
go up
that
against Black Mass.
ooh, yeah, brother. That's, I mean, if yeah, I don't even, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from but yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I think that's one that I would like. What do they call it? I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, RoboCop. Shout out
Yeah,
RoboCop.
shout out to RoboCat, RoboCat and RoboCop.
RoboCat. Hey, RoboCat.
Oh man, yeah. So
Oh, brother.
yeah, no, I mean, and yeah, we're such I always nerd out on all the trash talk and all the angles, man. But there's some great competition, like I said. Any when I saw that angle, come into play, and I was like, you know what, this is the place to like, you want to prove tag supremacy. What better place than where you have to you only get two.
Then the only league in the IWA that gives credit to its tag team champions.
Yeah, and it's been big credit these last
Dude,
couple.
yeah.
Big.
Big.
Now, doesn't always got to be, size doesn't always matter because, CC DeVille gets it done with a couple of lines. Let me tell you, he's one of these that, hey, a couple of, see, just that's CC DeVille calling, it's just.
See, like, hey, I heard you were talking about me.
Hey, just want to make sure just a couple of lines, all it takes.
Yeah.
Now,
quick and to the point. Akbar says, what's going on is unacceptable, and we're gonna deal with it. And he does say that their lawyers will be in touch.
What?
So I don't know. Yeah, Akbar doesn't strike me as the kind of guy to get lawyers involved. He strikes me as the kind of guy to waffle you with a tire iron. But we'll see if Poison gets lawyers involved, or maybe they just beat somebody up.
What has Akbar's panties in a bunch? I mean, what got him upset?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm really
at a now I'm worried. Now I'm worried. What's going on?
I mean, they came out of the series with Quick Kill Inc. He had the title series against Valinaria. Now he's in the title series with Jacob, and CC's been defending the title. They, I don't have an answer.
Huh.
I don't know. We'll see.
Now, we briefly mentioned Black Mass, and
right.
We got Buford, and he has a couple things to get off of his chest. Looks like he's not that much of a fan of Antoine Martin himself.
No, it sounds to me like he selects Antoine Martin's locker room, and he's got his brand, his branding iron and his mask, and luckily for Antoine Martin, he was not in there, but he is looking for him. So I would not want to find Buford in a dark alley.
No, especially not with a hot iron run.
Right.
Oh man, he's looking to brand. Yeah, I mean, perfect place to come and brand yourself. I mean, Buford, for those of you guys that don't know, has made a name for himself in another exclusive league in the IWA. Shout out to the LWL. It's my IWA plug for this show. IWA plug.
Sounds good. If I could open a beverage, we could shout out to GNL, which he's also in.
Yes.
Two other elite leagues around the IWA.
Yeah, shout out. And, shout out to his tag team partner, Humongous, who, they're set off on this mission to dominate the tag, divisions in both of these two leagues, in these three leagues. So it's fun to see this coming into our perspective. Now, we had mentioned Redwood.
Right. Which we're not sure yet.
Well,
if there's a connection.
Hey, we want it to be. Can we like
want it? Yeah, we're gonna put it.
Can we put it in the Matrix?
We're gonna will it to be, but it does seem somewhat coincidental.
Take the red pill, or is it the blue pill, or whatever? Yeah. But what is it? Take the red pill, or take the the blue pill?
Ready to be unplugged.
Oh man. Well, let's hope. Now,
you can hope.
What's up with Redwood? What is he? Did he met? Oh no.
Well, he comes down to the ring, and he's gonna
not Rancher and Vlad.
Well, he's kind of opening it up to basically saying he's gonna, bloody his knuckles against all of our favorites. So, I mean, not that Rick Rancher is on anybody's favorite list, but you get my idea, right?
Yeah, I mean.
So he's got a lot of potential candidates. Yeah,
I think his focus is where we're at. He mentions the dragon and the snake. I mean,
right?
If the dragon is hibernating, maybe the snake is your Huckleberry.
Huckleberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see. And then I love when a heel promo ends with something that is devious and underhanded, but you don't always want your heroes to look like fools, right? So Redwood, he drops out of the ring and he takes this young fan's sign and he rips the sign and then he slaps the fan across the face.
Oh, no!
And like, if you want to make yourself a villain, smack a young fan across the face.
Hey.
Because that'll do it. You are now a villain.
Well, yeah. Oh, man. Now, I mean, we got to watch out for all this because the suits, we've seen suits here and there, but what I'd rather have other than frickin' suits come is what, Commissioner? Yeah, I think if obviously with a quick kill and Dead Rabbit series is still in full swing right now because I'm not counting Quick Kill out.
No.
So I think someone's gonna have to step up and speak up for the UNL on behalf of that fan, man. So see if we have something.
See if any heroes, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, come on, UNL faithful. Like I said, yeah. That poor fan doesn't deserve it. Where's we'll see. I was gonna say where's our where's our military and our defenders, but he just called them, he's not doing any better with the fans. He's not doing it.
Talk about Ezekiel Crane?
Well, yeah. I mean, he just called them, pieces of donkey do. It's like,
yes, he did.
Oh, man. Okay, now we hinted towards this in the Commissioner's show how, in my opinion, Jacob and all his success or recent success,
yes,
is attributed to Mr. Deco.
It's an interesting idea. I mean, it's hard to argue. He's done very well since we've seen the appearance of Art Deco.
I mean, it like you said, the UNL and the Commissioner does not take bribes. But some of these referees, some of the people backstage, maybe they're spiking the punch or, I don't know what they're doing, but
I don't know. Speaking of, somebody having, spiked punch, Jacob, after having lost his league title, should be upset. Obviously, he regained it, but, he should be upset, but he's all chipper.
Well, yeah, he still has the international championship, so he's still rocking gold.
But I think he's got something in the mix. He talks about some friend. So
now, remind me again. I mean, him and TVB, they had a falling out, right?
They did. They're cousins, and they had a falling out at the beginning of the UNL. They went their separate ways for a long time, probably over a year, and then they came back together to form Double Dutch 2000, even though 2000 was 19 years ago.
Now, hey. Technically they've, maybe known each other since 2000. Who knows?
Maybe.
You don't know what that 2000.
But they formed Double Dutch 2000.
Now now the falling out must have not been too serious. I mean, because they look like they're
I mean, it was at the time. But you know what time does? Time heals all wounds, and blood is blood. So so Double Dutch came back together. And
now Deco's not blood, so that's
as far as we know.
Huh?
I would say no.
It's not going to be like Art Deco's their father. Dun, dun, no.
No, I don't think so.
No, not the way. Especially not the way they treat him. Especially that poor man. Yeah, but
he's got an amazing fashion sense.
Hey, now, whatever he's doing, whether it's the fashion distraction, it's working.
It's working. It is working on it. Exactly.
Now,
are we going to finish with this next one?
The one and only. Yeah, I mean,
one and only.
I mean, you talk about. I mean, when we read the Alaska promo, and you started in the back of your head, you're like, Well, he's right. Alaska is, bigger than, it has all this, all the facts were laid out in front of us. And
Right.
then one word, and you heard us, kind of, mention it around, and snowflake. Like
Yeah.
that's you're just a bunch of snowflakes. Like that's all just snow that fell. Like that, just that one word. I don't like I said, just when I saw that one word, I was like, just knowing that Alaska is just a bunch of snowflakes that just fell and just kind of, lay there, and it's just kind of like you can melt away in an instant. You can, I mean, just
Uh,
wow, one word, just like poor Alaska. I felt bad. I was like, oh, even as big as you are, you're just a bunch of snowflakes.
gonna
Like,
melt.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the way that it just happened to be placed in the bulletin, you would probably read McFleece's promo first, and then you get to Ranchers on the next page. But you read McFleece's, and he seems how, I don't know what word to use to describe it, but he seems on edge, right? He says, "I know you know my secret. Don't trifle with me. Don't make it personal because I will end you."
ooh,
And so obviously, whatever this is, McFleece is trying to impress upon Rancher that he would be wise to keep the secret to himself. That like McFleece is ready to take it to the next level, and he says, "Broken jaws can't tell secrets."
ooh, that's a good
So,
one.
I mean, McFleece definitely lays it on, right? Like, don't mess with me and don't give away my secret. And then you get to Ranchers, and he's like, and he's basically going, "Nope, I'm embarrassed for you. You should be ashamed. You wouldn't be the first one to fail to break my jaw. I'm not going to be quiet, and you can't stop me." And I, I, I was at a loss for words. Like Rancher is, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that McFleece is going to be coming after him. He doesn't care that this is obviously going to be devastating. He just says, "I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to tell everybody your secret, and you can't stop me."
I love it.
Uh,
I like I said, I that what I mean. Oh yeah, I yeah, that had me going. I was like, perfect. Like holy shit. Now I'm curious because knowing the man behind scenes. I mean he's as creative and as cunning as they come. So now I'm just
yeah,
eager to see what the response from Alaska.
yeah. Where this goes, I know you got two heavy hitters here for sure. Um, I know. Well, and we went. If I can back up, we went into that first match, and it was more about who's best, right? Like, I think I'm the best in the league. You think you're the best in the league. So we're gonna have this dream match, and we're gonna determine who's actually the best, right? But it wasn't personal, right? At least it didn't feel personal. It felt professional. Like, I'm better than you. And then after
Yeah,
McFleece won,
yeah, like a test of strength. Like, hey, let's just
right,
let's see where we're at.
right. We need to. I need. Right. Like for McFleece, he needed to know if he was the best. Rancher, of course, was very confident, knew he was the best. And then when McFleece won, I think that did something to Rancher. But then not only did McFleece win,
Not only to Rancher, to Vladimir's face too.
yeah, he renames himself Alaska McFleece.
I would even go as far as saying he rebrands himself
Yeah.
Alaska.
And so I'm not, to play, to look at the other side of the coin. I don't want to excuse Rick Rancher for digging into McFleece's personal life, but maybe if McFleece had just moved on instead of renaming himself Alaska to like throw it in Rancher's face, maybe Rancher wouldn't have gotten this personal,
Well,
right? Like I think
I
the most dangerous man is a cornered man, right? And I think Rancher felt embarrassed and cornered, and now he's going to strike and he's going to hit Alaska where it hurts the most.
well, I mean, let's say it like it is, Commissioner. What sells? I mean, that's I think the beauty of these two managers is they know what sells. Not only are they going to be consistent on the front page, they're going to be consistent with their play, but they wrap your wrap your thoughts and wrap your minds with what's going on on the outside of the ring. That it's just it brings the whole show together. It's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, Commissioner, like I said, we could continue to say. I mean, in our talking about the UNL is really never enough. I mean, we could keep going about other things that we want to see.
Our
Yeah,
listeners may disagree, but we could
yeah,
talk for an hour or more.
yeah. Now, I mean, speaking of which, if you get this far, are these shows too long? Do you want us to try and break them into a smaller, maybe highlights? Talk to us. Like I said, we do these shows for you guys to review the league. If they are too long to get through, give us insight, give us feedback. Like I said, we definitely want, to provide the information for you guys. We enjoy, like you said, me, Commissioner, I think you said it best. We can definitely cover these angles and cover these stories, for hours. I mean, just because we enjoy it and we, like I said, especially with all the, you know, all the material to work with, it just makes it easy. I mean, that's why that's why I enjoy it personally. I mean, but give us feedback. Let us know what you guys think. We definitely don't mind. I mean, I don't mind the longer shows, but we definitely want to provide you guys with what you guys want for the league.
Yeah, for sure.
Commissioner, anything else you want to put on this one?
No, thanks to everybody for all that they do. We do have Global's Greatest coming up in a few cycles. So if you're not on the show yet and you want on the show, as Rocky Horror might say, time is fleeting. So, be happy to get involved. There's still time to get involved and get on the show.
Oh yeah, Global's Greatest. We got got 2 cycles.
Right, not next cycle, but the cycle after.
So come on. The board is there. Get some matches. Get yourself involved. Like I said, we got a lot going on. So join the action. Commissioner, we'll go ahead and sign this one off. You've been listening to Around the United Nations League Trash Talk Edition. Myself, IWA Flip, here with Commissioner Scott Anderson. We'll see you guys next time.